this corn dog was I'm gonna laugh my way through this.
Yeah.
It is a hot dog that's shoved into a pickle that's battered as a corn dog and then deep fried.
Shoved into a pickle?
Dude, it was the size of your fucking forearm, dude. It was this big.
How do you get a hot dog in a pickle?
They hollow out the inside of a pickle.
Oh, they like take the core out of a big kosher pickle.
I don't know if you want to make that hand.
So they take the pickle and they hollow it out.
And then they insert the dog.
So the dog comes into the pickle. So there's a pickle. If you guys see this at home, there's a pickle. The dog comes into the pickle.
Wake it up, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Marckie P Show. We have round 2 guest, Chris Costa. He's here for a second time. We love him. He is my brother in breaking. What's going on, my dude?
Oh, it's good to be here, buddy.
Oh, happy to have you back.
I missed you.
Yeah, you know.
I see you every day, but I missed you.
Monday and Wednesdays. Yeah. The Whatnot app. That's where you see me.
I see you twice a week.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was good, man. It's good. Things are crazy right now. Things are hectic. Things are busy. But when you asked me to come on the show, I was super pumped because, you know, I love the Marckie P Show. I love Marckie P. I love all things. It's Marckie P.
We had some fun our first episode. Mm-hmm. We've recently had a little bit more fun than ever anticipated.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat because I wasn't able to talk about this last week because I took last week off. I went to the Big E. We'll chat about fairs and fair foods and me being fat. Yeah. But the 1-of-1 bridge jump.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
It was phenomenal for me. Exciting. I think it was just a legendary event. I'm more concerned about you, your long-term health. Have you had any side effects? Have you felt any itching?
No,
any sort of a tingle?
The usual itching, but nothing.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, other than that, I think you did a phenomenal job. I think it was amazing content. I think it was a brave endeavor.
Were you nervous for me? Like
I was nervous.
At any point, because when I showed up, we had previously the night before went out back and looked at the docks and we were like, yeah, this will be fine. This is the one to jump off of. And it was literally like just a springboard like in your pool.
Well, I was more concerned. I got in the next day and I was super pumped because you pulled the 1-on-1. It was awesome. It was of a guy that we're friends with.
Which is crazy in itself.
Everything kind of fell into place. It was awesome. And then we're talking about you jumping into the harbor and there's like rumblings of you just like pencil diving off a dock. I'm like, that is going to be the most anticlimactic jump I've ever heard in my life. So I'm happy we settled on the bridge, but then we get on the bridge and I'm looking down and I'm like, none of us know how deep this is.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you could have easily just shattered your femur.
Yeah, just done. You know, broken femur.
Which would have been kind of electric.
Content.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to break your leg for content.
Well, it could have become a mini-series because then it's not only we're starting the pilot with you jumping off the bridge, but then it's a 6-part series through your rehab and recovery.
Legitimately.
It's Spalding Rehab.
Mark learns to walk. Like, what the fuck? We didn't realize the bridge jump would be that.
It was so much more climactic and exciting than I expected. Your jump, you were in the air for so much longer than I anticipated. Dude, you were floating.
I was floating.
It was higher than we thought, and it was deeper than we thought, thank God.
35 feet, and then I ended up looking it up, and it said where I jumped into middle could have been 24 feet deep.
Oh, easy. You could have been.
Well, I guess
could not have been.
Depending on the tide.
Well, then there's questions of, is there any debris in the water? Is there like a hidden mooring? Are you going to land on a dock like a piece of wood?
Yeah.
You know, or do you are we jumping at low tide and are we somehow jumping into 2 feet of water and going to see your shins come through your knees?
Yeah, we jumped at low tide. And what I was saying to people was when I hit the water, I didn't know how deep it was. So I immediately pulled my legs up.
Not good.
And then I went to kind of push myself from the bottom to get myself back up. I was just like, oh, this is where we're at. So I did the motion. I was just like, oh, I'm literally stuck in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Deep.
I was deep.
Yeah, you had to come back up.
I was 20 feet down.
Easy. And you went down. But you also, at the end, you braced for impact, which was a mistake, I think.
Yeah.
You went out with the arms. And that creates kind of a slapping effect.
And that's what happened.
Your arm was purple.
My arm was purple. Yeah, I still have like a little residual bruising.
Ridiculous.
But life is well. Like, you know,
it was awesome. First off, great turnout. So I think that points to how much people love you and love what you do on the content side. The whole office empties out into the streets.
Nothing like having your bosses watch from a window as you empty the office to jump in the fucking harbor.
I mean, we had half the office on the bridge, half the office in the window of the office.
Yeah, in a P&L
converging.
meeting.
In a P&L meeting. The executive leadership team of Big Night watching Marckie jump in a floral bathing suit
with
into the harbor with flamingos on it.
Lucky flamingos.
It was awesome. You know, we had Calvin and Rob, both two of the top ranked fighters in the UFC. Rob, who obviously was on the card that you pulled, and just super funny. I think the whole thing was funny. It came together really well. Obviously, our video guys captured everything in multiple angles, and I was super pumped. It came out so good.
It was crazy. And now, speaking of one-of-ones, the bets have continued because now I am so deep into Big Night breaks, it hurts.
Well, I feel like I
wake up and I rip my Pop-Tarts open as if I'm shredding open a fucking pack.
I've been opening everything in my life with some sort of a vigor of a breaker.
Then a spin.
Just a pop. Everything. I've become so much more efficient at opening bags of chips.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it just feels well. Yeah. Feels so good.
It's ridiculous. But I do feel like the jump in that event was kind of like a baptism. Right, I posted about it. It was like you officially becoming a professional breaker. Not that you weren't already breaking, but like you're a professional now, and people know who you are, and people know what you're doing, and they're following you, and they're on Whatnot with you Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesdays.
And I thought it was super cool. And now, you're a just full blown breaker.
Just pandemonium now.
People
want me to do dumb shit.
They do.
This is bad.
Well, that's the thing. You kind of set yourself up. Now people come into the live stream and they can think they'll wager anything.
Literally wager anything. They're like, Mark, we'll just fucking take the bet.
Yeah.
Like, pull a 1-of-1.
Pull a 1-of-1 and run across 93 during rush hour.
Yeah. They'd be like, he'll do it. He'll do it. I mean, we just one-upped the 1-of-1 bet.
Yes.
And you, sir, pulled a 1-of-1.
I did. I pulled 2.
You pulled 2, yeah. So you're up 2 to 1 on me. 2 to 1. And you have to tattoo the 1-of-1 logo on your body.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what that's going to look like. Is it 1-1? Is it the 1-of-1? Is it going to be fancy? Is it going to be ugly?
I think it has to be of the 1-of-1 that
the same format. The Panini format, which is ONE of ONE in like a nice, beautiful cursive.
Yeah, I think that has to be it.
Feels right.
It feels right.
And just to be clear, it's 2 since we made the bet. I've pulled many 1-of-1s. I don't want to discount my 1-of-1 ability, my 1-of-1 pulling capabilities.
He's covering himself.
Ironically, Whatnot, shout out Whatnot.
Yep, shout out to Whatnot.
Check that out.
Shout
out to Whatnot.
Love that.
But yeah, so pulled 1 and then 2 1-of-1s. So I did make a wager with Marckie P. If I pull it, I will get the 1-of-1 logo tattooed on my body. So figuring out the location of that tattoo, and now it sounds like we officially decided the design of that tattoo. That'll get done next week. I don't know. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it now. Maybe we'll do it on the next Marckie P episode as a segment.
Yeah, I mean, if I pull a 1-of-1, the bet was that you get to tattoo it on me. So that's scary. That's very scary.
Yeah, but I have a steady hand.
You do?
Steady hand. I'm not the best drawer.
When was the last time you gave yourself a tattoo?
Actually, 2 summers ago, funny enough, on my ankle here. Yeah.
Just bored one night, ballpoint pen.
It was one of those nights, yeah.
Okay.
On a toilet.
Just
sitting on a toilet.
Okay.
In Nantucket, of all places. Ironically, I don't know, not many tattoos being given in Nantucket.
No, you're a 1-of-1 tattoo artist in Nantucket.
Yeah. Yeah, I am the 1-of-1.
So this is also kind of funny. I was at the Big E this weekking.
Ooh.
And I'm
speaking of 1-of-1s. A lot of 1-of-1s are walking around the Big E.
One person, one tooth. It's fucking brutal in there.
Just gems.
I'm walking with my friends Danielle and Jeff.
Shout out Danielle and Jeff.
Shout out Danielle. And the rest of my friend group is ahead. And some kid is like eyeing me. And then he just goes, yo, that's the guy that jumped off the Seaport Bridge. And my friends Danielle and Jeff just go, no fucking way he just said that. There's no way. And all of the people that are here, you come across the one person that watched that video.
Unbelievable.
I was just like, I've made it.
More than one person. Thousands.
Yeah, thousands.
Thousands. That video took shape. I'll be honest with you. What we got going on, people are starting to notice.
We're not fucking around, bro.
They're noticing. I walked out of the office 2 days ago. Oh my God, do you run Costa cards?
There we go.
You bet your ass I do.
Taking over this whole you bet your
fucking ass I do.
Getting super aggressive, people.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you bet your fucking sweet ass.
Yeah, who's asking?
Send them. Yeah, man. It's been a wild ride this past few weeks of just doing stunts.
Yeah.
I think we have to like eat the hottest hot wings in the world now at some point.
Well, speaking of hot wings, tell me about the food at the Big E.
Oh, dude, I ate so much food. I had shepherd's pie balls.
What?
deep fried shepherd's pie balls.
How do you make a shepherd's pie ball? Like,
I think
is it like is the shepherd's pie, because that's like a liquidy
Yeah, I think
event.
you freeze it.
Oh.
I think you freeze it, and then you ball it up like a snowball, and then you roll it in
Really?
flour and all that other stuff, and then you deep fry it.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were
I wouldn't have thought of doing it that way. I would have thought there would have had to have been some sort of a different type of shepherd's pie, like a thicker shepherd's pie, less liquidy, that dries up and you create like a meatball out of it and you fry it.
Kind of like that. It wasn't so much potato. It was more meat and corn and batter and gravy.
Wow.
Flames.
No shepherds.
No shepherds. No shepherds were harmed in the making of this ball.
Oh, wow.
But I also had
incredible,
fried
actually.
mac and cheese balls from the same spot.
Yep. Well, that's something you'd kind of expect.
Just
like a mac and cheese ball.
Covered in cheese sauce and bacon. They'd salt bay the bacon right on top. Dude, I was a fatso.
You're making it sound like it was like a luxurious dining experience. I imagine it was a paper cup.
It was in like one of those little like 14-cent.
Like all of a
cups.
sudden, the gentleman at the fried mac and cheese ball truck comes over and he's like, "Sir, let me just get that for you real quick. There you go."
I think the lady that did it was hammered. I don't think she knew that the salt bay thing was happening. I think that's just how her arms were working. That's just how she. Fuck it. This guy wants bacon. Give him fucking bacon.
You want more?
You want more bacon?
You want more bacon?
Just throwing bacon on my mac and cheese. Yeah, it was quite the time. And I had fucking deep fried taco balls.
What?
I had a corn dog. All right.
I haven't had a corn dog maybe in my entire life.
Ever?
I see you see them
I know,
on
your
TV.
body's a temple. I get it.
No, I haven't had many opportunities in my life to consume a corn dog. Like, I don't find myself in places where corn dogs are readily accessible.
Okay. But you're a hot dog guy.
I'll enjoy a hot dog.
Okay.
Like, I don't go out of my way to eat a hot dog, but, if I'm at a cookout and the dogs come off first and I'm starving, I'll have a hot dog, but I'm not like, unless there's like a special hot dog somewhere. Like you brought to the office the other night, the hot dog from Lola.
Yeah, Wagyu beef.
Yeah, I'm into that.
It's like a fucking steak, dude. I almost had to bust out like fine dining china.
It was good.
It was good.
Really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's a dog.
But corn dogs, I don't find readily accessible.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
This corn dog was. I'm gonna laugh my way through this.
Yeah.
It is a hot dog that's shoved into a pickle. That's battered as a corn dog and then deep fried.
Shoved into a pickle?
Dude, it was the size of your fucking forearm, dude. It was this big.
Well, how do you get a hot dog in a pickle?
They hollow out the inside of a pickle.
Oh, they like take the core out of a big kosher pickle.
I don't know if you want to make that hand.
So they take the pickle and they hollow it out.
And then they insert the dog.
So the dog comes into the pickle. So there's a pickle. If you guys see this at home, there's a pickle. The dog comes into the pickle. And then if you get that shot right there, the dog is in the pickle. So like it's directly there's just a pickle with the dog.
And then
right into the mouth.
And then Hurley's here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, Hurley.
Hurley,
we love Hurley. Yeah, deep fried. It was called the Dilly Dilly Dog, and it was not good.
So you put the dog in the pickle. The pickle gets battered.
Yeah.
And then they fry it.
Mm-hmm.
The pickle doesn't. You can't cook a pickle, can you?
Yeah, it was weird.
It seems like it might get very mushy.
It was
weird.
The outside was like crispy, but the inside was not crispy, and the hot dog I don't think was cooked fully.
Yeah,
it was an interesting.
So you raw dogged the pick.
Yes. Yes. We raw dogged.
You raw dogged the pickle.
We raw dogged a pickle.
Yeah.
I can't even do this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we raw dogged a pickle in a hot dog and corn batter.
Only on the Marckie P Show.
It's the most important thing you're going to hear all week, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I feel like you could choose so many different things to put a hot dog inside of other than a pickle.
Tell me what that is.
I mean, I don't know.
A bun?
A bun. A hot dog bun?
A hot dog, yeah, like a normal
There's
person.
different types of bread vessels I would have gone with. Maybe like here's a cool idea. Take a tortilla, roll the hot dog in it, and fry it like a taquito.
Okay,
almost.
so like a hot dog taquito.
Talking. I just came up with $1 million idea. Hot dog taquitos.
Would you eat a hot dog taquito, Hurley?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, is there anything else in it but the hot dog?
Yeah, you can put a little relish in there, a little red pepper, maybe some taco meat.
All right.
You know?
Now we're talking.
Maybe we have to make this.
I mean,
we
are you
might have
shitting
to,
me?
We might have to make this for the Marckie P
I mean, what
Show.
about
Why
those
not?
like pigs in a blanket? You could just deep fry one of those.
Ooh, pigs in a
That's
blanket
like
are
a crescent
kinda
roll.
slap.
Yeah, those are bomb. But like I'm saying, you could take just a regular corn tortilla, roll the dog up in it nice and tight, dip the dog in the tortilla, and now you got a fried little vessel. The dog's cooking.
Okay.
And now you drizzle. Now you choose your condiments. You can do a little drizzle of the relish, a little drizzle of the yellow mustard,
Okay.
maybe a little red ketchup, and then you can get really weird. You can start doing like a dusted Cheeto,
Wow.
something like that. I'm just
Wow.
saying. I don't know. I'm getting carried away. I'm getting excited. My
Fucking
mouth's
Gordon,
watering. Oh my god.
Before.
Gordon Ramsay over here. Gordon Costa over here.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Gee, I can only think about food now. I had other things to talk about, and you fucked me up. Now,
Well, I get food throws me on. I was watching a prison show the other day, and they're making prison mac and cheese. It's you take the ramen, they take Doritos, they crush up the Doritos in the ramen, they make their own little. It's called break. It's like a little prison house trick. I learned it.
Interesting. What do they just use like the toilet water? Like what's the like?
No, they use hot water. I mean, they have hot water.
Oh, I don't know. I've never been there.
You've never
before.
been there?
I've never been there.
Oh, you've never been to prison?
I can't say that. I almost did after jumping off the
Oh, I'm
bridge.
sorry.
again. People
I'm
kept telling me
sorry.
this was illegal.
I thought
He's making toilet water mac and cheese. We're fine.
Move on.
We're moving on.
It's another chapter of my life. It's the past chapter.
The cartels,
We've moved on. From.
cartels, jails, hot
Yeah,
dogs.
what are you gonna do?
Your boy Lyle Collins attempted to bribe the NFL. Did you see that over the weekend?
No, tell me more.
He apparently pissed hot in his drug test and
Oh,
tried to
shit.
bribe the person that was taking the.
Like, listen, man.
Speaking of jail,
Listen, man.
I don't think you can bribe people.
Listen, man. I had a long weekend.
Smoke some crack.
I got like $400-500 on me. Let me just give you this. And we'll move on.
What's an NFL? What's a bribe worth to you?
A bribe?
Yeah.
Like, what would you need to give me?
Yeah,
To
if
risk
you-
my like job?
Yeah, if you were collecting drug test samples from NFL players and you grab Josh Gordon's,
Ooh. Well, I feel like
not that it
he
matters.
doesn't have much to give anymore. I mean, he's pretty much blown everything.
Tom Brady just so happens to piss hot.
Now you're in a real hot spot
Yeah,
because
okay.
you've got the GOAT with a beautiful public image, a beautiful wife, this pristine like reputation to uphold, and now
Yep.
I hold the keys to the future.
Yeah. What is that? What is the bribe worth to you?
$1 million cash.
Okay.
1 million
I feel
cash.
like there's more coming.
Unlimited TB12 stretch sessions.
Okay.
I've got unlimited access to the locker room at all times.
Wow.
I'm part of the camp. But then it's kind of weird, going
They're gonna be
forward,
like, how the
because
fuck
he
that guy
doesn't
show
like,
up?
He doesn't actually like me. He actually hates my guts.
Yeah,
because I've bribed him.
Right.
Million cash, easy.
And then you're out.
Easy. It might even be more than $1 million cash, but $1 million cash, in and out, see ya, no problem, clean piss, here you go. You want me to piss for you? I'll piss
Right.
for you.
Right. That makes perfect sense. What do you think this was? What do you think Lyle Collins offered? That the guy was just like,
Oh, no.
absolutely not. You're
no.
in trouble.
Oh, no. Was it less than $1,000?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, you
what
don't know the
didn't-
number.
They didn't say the number. It says undisclosed amount. But I'm,
Well, you
I'm
got to
saying,
think. It's got to be under five Gs.
yeah. I was gonna say 10.
I could see. I don't think 10 would get it done, but I don't think it'd get laughed at. I think if I'm collecting the piss and I'm sitting there and somebody says, listen, man, I'll give you 10 Gs right now. I'm like, that's nice.
That's nice.
10 Gs is not. I mean, who doesn't like 10 Gs? You go take a nice vacation.
Couple rent
pretty
payments.
much every like nice vacation you can get in and around the 10K mark. You go off to Hawaii or you go off to like Cabo or the Azores or
Yeah, 10 G's. That'd be the move.
10 racks.
I'd probably
You'd
be
take
10.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
Tom Brady 1 million. Anybody else 10 grand.
yeah, well, it depends on the
The
situation.
status of the player for sure.
Yeah, and their reputation. What are they trying to protect?
Yeah, good point.
Leverage.
Good point. That and they were saying that like the NFL doesn't suspend people for marijuana anymore. So like, what was it?
Well, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, every NFL player's on something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
I hate to let
they're
the
just
cat
all-
out of the bag.
They're all sprinting around, just roided out.
Yeah, I mean, they're all WWE superstars running around on a football field. I mean, they're all
Legally allowed to hurt each other.
they're taking. They're all
It's incredible.
But
I love it.
Yeah, it's That's a good question. What would it take? I think Brady would probably take the biggest cut, the biggest hit from me.
$1 million.
$1 million.
What do you spend your first million? What do you spend it on? What's
$1 million?
Yeah. What's the first thing?
See, then it's like, hey, am I being responsible here? Am I making an investment? Or am I getting weird?
No, you just collected $1 million.
Weird for free. It never had. Yeah. Well, $1 million.
Lamborghini.
I'm buying a car. I'd add a car to the fleet of all of my cars.
Yep. So it'd be. This wouldn't be weird at all. It would be your SUV.
Yeah.
Your Vespa.
Yeah.
And a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It'd be perfectly
I don't know if I'd go Lambo, but I'd go something weird.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah, I'd be my SUV, my Vespa, and then something outrageous.
Yeah. They'd be like, something is happening over there that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
He drives a Vespa 50% of the time, and he drives a very standard SUV.
You want to know what's ridiculous? $1 million isn't what it used to be.
No, $1 million gets you laughed at.
I mean, $1 million is nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Tom might be I might be hitting him for $5 mil. It's like a game check.
That's like his entire salary when he played for the Patriots.
$5 mil.
$5 mil.
I mean, $1 million to barely even get you a house anymore. Like, let alone a house like
in Boston,
in Dorchester.
Yeah, where I live.
Where I live.
Yeah, where you live.
Yeah,
we're fucked. $1 million. You might as well just live in a shoebox.
What's happening? $1 million. People are spending $1 million on like JPEGs, NFTs. $1 million.
How much are you spending on NFTs, Chris?
About $1 million.
You
about $1 million.
So you've recently fallen into a NFT habit where you sit at your computer.
I'm in a glass cage of emotion. I'm in a black hole.
We're going to break the other night. We're chatting about what's happening. The products that were coming out, the products that are going on the show, and you're like, dude, I can't even talk to you right now, man. I got NFTs dropping in like 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden,
snap.
You were just gone.
A snapping.
You were snapping.
There's nothing more exciting than minting an NFT.
Your wallet couldn't connect.
You got to connect the wallet. You got to get on the site. You got to make sure you have the right type of cryptocurrency. If you don't, you got to transfer it. You got to be ready at the right time. Then you're clicking the fucking button. You're clicking it. You're clicking it. You're clicking it. It's not going through. You're snapping. You're ready to snap your phone in half.
I watched. I was watching.
It's high energy.
It was impressive.
And then all of a sudden, the transaction gets confirmed, and it's like just like a release.
Yeah. You went power walking through the office. I bought 10. I bought fucking 10 of them.
Fucking 10.
10 meta. What are they? Army meta. What the?
I got new one I bought is Soldiers of the Metaverse.
Soldiers of the Metaverse.
Metaverse is a very interesting concept.
Tell me about the metaverse.
Well, I'm doing my research. I'm doing my reading. I am trying to learn more, but the metaverse is conceptually the alternative digital reality that we're heading towards, right? We all sit here. We all got our phones.
Cellular device.
We sit on our phones all day, and this has kind of become our lives, right? It's become our reality. We're like these cyborgs. So, all of the trends in our day-to-day life would point towards this future state of digital reality, right?
Right.
Can you put goggles on at home and enter this digital reality? Do we go shopping in this digital reality? Do we go watching movies in this digital reality? Do we socialize in this digital reality, right? Do these social media platforms become more of a engaging experience than they are now, which is, typically text, video, etc. So the idea is that we're heading towards this place called the metaverse where, you can go to the digital casino or go to the digital horse track or go to the digital nightclub or go to the digital, social club or what have you. And there are NFT projects sprouting up that are coded or at least set to be coded to be part of that world.
That's so cool.
There's, an NFT project called Gambling Apes. And the whole premise behind that is that they will be gambling, or you'll be able to enter a digital casino, the metaverse casino, as a gambling ape. Or, they are actively taking place in gaming or gambling activities and collecting crypto and winning crypto and losing crypto. There's NFT racehorses, right? And they race for you.
It's also like exclusivity too, right? Like
sure.
You're only allowed into that.
Correct. If you own an NFT character in that particular space.
Right.
Correct.
Which is also pretty fucking cool.
Super cool in concept and in theory. And I don't know how you execute on it. I know a lot of these projects are kind of setting themselves up to be part of that next phase, if you will. But I think it's super fascinating, and I think there's a lot of like really cool use cases. There's games that you can play. You can, jump into the metaverse as one of your NFT characters and take place in the particular game that NFT character is designed for, right? And in the soldiers of the metaverse use case, which is the NFT we were talking about that I was freaking out about minting, they're considered like the army of the metaverse. So a lot of different use cases there, but they're also an IP-centered project, meaning they're also looking to sell their IP out. So, if Fortnite wanted to utilize the skins for those characters, they could utilize the skins in the game. So it's kind of like integrating all these different worlds into one. It's
so wild
and confusing.
And I mean, I was trying to buy Frenchies the other day, which is on its own fucking planet again.
Yeah.
Apes.
Yeah.
NFTs are they're taking over.
It's crazy.
And you're watching like guys like you who will like lock in and dial up like trying to mint these things and really just hammering it in. It's like going to show, and you're a trendsetter in what you do, like with the card space and the card shop, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You are ahead of the trends. Like, how have you managed to be just kind of a step ahead, like just a step ahead?
Yeah, well, I think I got lucky just because my interest lied in the sports card world from as a kid. I never grew out of it, right? Like that, I just got lucky in that sense where sports cards and the things that I was interested in continued to grow in popularity when they did and got super valuable. And, so I'm not going to claim a lot of credit for being ahead of the trend. I was just kind of part of the trend. By default. But I think it led me to kind of really believe in this like collectibles as a currency space where, we're getting away from the traditional, dollar bill, and not that the dollar bill will not be relevant. Away, right? Yeah, it's going to be part of the world forever, I would assume. But these additional types of currencies where, collectability and, notoriety and hype, all of these things kind of play a part, and you can kind of, if you learn that space or learn that market that you're in, gain an upper hand.
Right.
And sports cards are no different. NFTs are no different. Shoes are no different.
I was big into shoes.
Yeah,
for a
lot of people made a lot of money on shoes.
Yeah. I made a healthy amount of money.
Yeah.
I also, I did one of those things where you like get high on your own supply.
Yeah, you wear them.
And then you
wear the shoes.
Yeah, and then you just don't sell them, and you clout, and then beat up fucking Jordans that you can never sell again that you should have sold for $5,000.
Yeah, so I think,
you're fucked. And you're fucked.
And you're fucked.
And you're fucked.
But no, I think NFTs and shoes and sports cards, all of that stuff kind of rides this same parallel universe where, hype and notoriety and clout and value and rarity all kind of converge. And I think the sports card space is super interesting just because it's so deeply tied into the world of sports that our culture has come to love, and ties into fantasy sports, which has become such a massive part of our culture, right? If a player performs well, their cards go up. But in fantasy, if a player performs well, your score goes up, right? And they all kind of tie in with one another. And gambling, right? You're taking a chance. You're taking a chance on a player or a particular card or a particular market or a particular NFT. I think gambling is a huge kind of, early, I want to call it like reptilian piece of our being as human beings.
Right.
So I think it all, ties into one another. But as far as trend setting, I think, trying to be out ahead of the curve and identify trends and identify markets and identify things that are catching people's eye or catching pop culture's eye is always fun.
Yeah. And you're really, really good at it. And I mean, I was the shoe guy for a long time. And you can ask Timmy Tenzak.
Oh, yeah.
Hooked his whole closet is basically me being like, buy that one. But yeah, it's been fun to watch you work on the NFT stuff. Obviously, the other day you're fucking locked in, and then I was just like, you know what? What am I waiting? What he's doing it? Why am I not doing it? Like I'm sitting over there trying to get 9 different wallets in 9 different spots. I was like, oh,
it's crazy.
I just handed you my laptop at one point. It was just like, hey man, do you want to just try it on mine?
I was like, no.
He's like, no, I can't. I'm like, fuck. I was like, I can't. I'm freaking out,
man.
Freaking out, man.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
But I mean, like, there's projects out there where, so I'm in this project, Sneaky Vampires, right? Sneaky Vampires NFT, which I think is a really cool project with a really cool team behind it and an artist behind it. It goes up 100% in 2 days. Or like Cool Cats, which is like
I've seen Cool
a
Cats.
Popular NFT project. It's now the number 3 NFT project. The floor became 10 ETH or 10 Ethereum, which means you can't buy a Cool Cat for less than 10 Ethereum.
Right.
There's none available for less than 10 Ethereum. which is like $35,000
Yeah.
minimum.
Just crazy.
And they were like 2,000 max a week ago.
Yeah.
So there are people like retiring by buying JPEGs.
They're literal.
And I don't want to downplay the JPEG.
But that's what it is.
It's what it is. But I mean, there's a lot more behind it. Like people think we're in the early stages of the next phase of art, right? Like, are these the next Picassos? Are they the next Monets? Are they the next, there's that element to it. And then there's the utilitarian element that we just talked about. So I don't want to downplay because I do think NFTs have a relevant place in our future. But Gary Vee, who I respect, for a number of different things, and don't see eye to eye on a number of other different things. But one of the things that he said is, 98% of the NFTs out there will be worth zero in the future.
Right.
It's the 2% or even less that will be relevant. So you have to keep that in mind when you go into these markets. Is like you are making a gamble, and if you're going to make one, you better make a calculated one. So
yeah, no, it's very good advice.
Careful.
Be
careful out
careful.
there, kids.
Be careful out there, kids. Don't do drugs. Just buy NFTs with your parents' money.
Don't
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do drugs. Do not do drugs.
Chris is fingers down.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Let's talk sports betting.
Yeah.
You have a podcast called Let's Get Rich.
I do.
You're also somewhat of a fantasy football guru. You might have been left out of the fantasy football podcast.
We can certainly address that now. Ironically, here at Big Night Media, there was a fantasy football league started. It is year one. Season 1, fantasy football league started this year. I happen to be the host of the only fantasy sports podcast and managing partner of Big Night's only sports assets.
This is good. Keep going. This is great.
And I was left out.
I think you were left out because you potentially have the cheat codes on how to.
I
to
think
do
that's
that.
an
we
easy.
don't like you.
I think that's more it. I think the hey, you're too good. You're too good is like an easy cop out. Like, all right, let's make them feel good. Hey man, you're too good at this, right? It's more of a we didn't think of you and we don't like you.
We fucking hate your guts, dude.
But all kidding aside, yes, we have Let's Get Rich, which is gambling focused with daily or weekly picks in the NFL. We do 5 picks or 5 likes and 1 lock. Both Prisco and I, Matt Prisco, and then we have Zoe, who's our host, our new host,
brand new host,
who's amazing, and we have fun with it. We do know sports and have some pride in our knowledge of sports and our following of sports. Sports are my life and played them my whole life and now work in them. And Prisco is like a stat nut, statistician, really good record, knows his gambling, knows his lines, knows the odds. So we put together a podcast. We have fun with it. And it's been a fun little ride. It's growing. It's getting there. We just started.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Second season, right?
Second season. Yep. Last season was a little bit different of a format. We made some changes, made obviously a host change. We brought Zoe in. We felt like it could use somebody to be the moderator. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
How are your stats this season so far?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
How are Prisco's?
Prisco's solid. I got to look at this past week. This past week was ugly. Overall, not good. But that's what happened last year was I was like on my locks. I went into this week 7. I was 2-5 in my locks.
That's not good.
I ended the season 5-5. No, I was 2-7. I ended the season 7-7. I won 5 straight to end the year. We started like 3 weeks in, so that's why the record doesn't add up. But I was 2-7 in my locks, pretty much ready to retire and also live on the streets.
Just hang it up.
Yep, and then went 5 out of 5 on my locks. So that's how it works. Get hot. You start seeing the board.
What's the hottest hot streak you've been on gambling wise? Parlays.
Like gambling sports or casino hot streak?
Let's talk gambling. Let's talk
sports.
Yeah.
I was on like a 16-0 streak a year and a half ago. 16-0 between baseball and football. 16-0 over like 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
That's wild.
Yeah, 16-0.
Just could not lose.
Couldn't do it.
Just couldn't miss.
I've had just as many 0-16 streaks or more.
For one, there's 3 0-16s.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad.
It's ugly.
That's bad.
Gamble at your own risk.
Yes.
and
also
understand the ramifications of what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, if you can't afford to sell your Vespa on a weekend, don't gamble.
If anybody's interested in a beautiful 49cc Vespa, I am desperately in need of cash at the moment.
Cash only. All right, let's move on to one that I would like to know a little bit more about. Let's talk about the card vault, and let's go from concept to reality.
Yeah. So I think on our last visit together here, we talked about what we were doing at Big Night in the sports card space, or at least I thought we did.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So this whole process, this whole...
Did I just leak the name?
Well, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, good.
Card vault. But this whole process, this whole roadmap, this whole trip to where we're going at now, kind of started in the small little space, right? Big Night is one of the largest nightlife and entertainment companies in the world, and the pandemic shut a lot of our physical locations down, and that's where things like this, right? The Marckie P Show and Big Night Media and all of our podcasts and everything that we're doing in spaces other than nightclubs, bars, and restaurants were born, and that included our venture, Big Night Breaks, where I've been a collector my whole life. I've collected and bought and sold sports cards, both low end and high end, since I was a kid. And the market exploded not only during the pandemic, but leading up to the pandemic. The market had been really hot for a while. And Randy, who's runs Big Night, one of the managing partners of Big Night as a whole, we've been really close for a very long time, very close for 25 years. We're on the beach during the pandemic in the summer, and we're chatting, and we come up with this plan to start a business. After a number of conversations, but you basically, decide, let's do something fun. Let's put the Big Night machine behind it and market it and brand it and create a really different experience. And that's where Big Night Breaks was born. And Big Night Breaks had this, really nice trajectory. And we, had a lot of celebrities on and fun guests and did a lot of fun breaks and pulled a lot of big cards and built a lot of cool content. And that kind of opened our eyes to the fact that we could touch and dabble in all these different areas this industry had to offer, right? So not just breaking, which is this concept of opening boxes and packs for customers, right? In a couple of different formats, but without going into too much detail, we can either open them in groups and sell parts of a box to people. In some cases, some of these boxes are $10,000, right? And that's difficult to buy individually, but if you break it up into divisions or teams or players, it becomes more affordable. So that's one format. Or you can just simply buy a box and we open it in our live stream and get excited about big hits and build content around it and everything. That path, that experience in building Big Night Breaks led us to believe we could operate in all these other areas of the industry, which is also, the brick and mortar retail space, and the content space and the card show and trade show space and other areas. The dealing space, buying and selling and trading high-end collectibles. And the brick and mortar, vision is about to come to reality this weekend, where we'll be launching our first card store, the Card Vault, one of several card vaults. The first one is going to be opening. We're doing a soft opening at Gillette Stadium. Super excited about it. The space is incredible. The concept's amazing. Randy and Ed and the Big Night team, have been fully behind my vision and what I want to do. And obviously part of this has become their vision and Ed's incredible design vision. And it's a concept that I don't think the industry's ever seen. It's, a product the industry has never seen. It's a level that the industry has never seen. And I'm super excited about it. So that's kind of phase one in this multi-phased journey of building a sports card empire, if you will.
Right.
And, we're pumped this weekend. We're going to, finally, for the first time, start walking people through. It's not going to be a full grand opening, but we're going to have, some private showings and show people some of the bones of what we're building. And then in the next couple of weeks, literally, we'll do a full-blown grand opening, and you'll be able to come in and buy anything from a $5 card to a $500,000 card.
Right.
Or buy a $10 box or a $5,000 box.
Right.
Come in and watch a game or hang out, have a drink, all that stuff. So super, super pumped.
Yeah, it's exciting. And what you've been showing me and just been talking about in general, just crazy land. Yeah. You guys are not fucking around at all.
No, it is bananas.
There's I worked at one card show with you and Timmy Tens. Mm-hmm. It was at like the Shriners Auditorium.
Yeah.
And that was very old school, like go get a hot dog and a cheeseburger. This is not really much fun for people unless you're like really wheeling and dealing, right? Like people go there and they're there for business. What happens at the Causeway Card Show and what Big Night I think has done a phenomenal job at, is making it more than just, hey man, I want you to buy this card from me, or I want to buy, but it's an experience. It's taco fall ripping on stage, having yourself a few drinks.
Yeah.
There's entertainment. There's a list of stuff that you provide for people that they can do it when they're in town for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that that's where this hobby is trending towards? And shops much like yours, where it's, big TVs, social club kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
think.
Out.
Well, the card show and the trade show is one thing, right? So what you alluded to was the Causeway Show, which we host every quarter at Big Night Live, and trade shows are a big part of the industry. And the traditional trade shows at the VFWs and the local trade shows, and the Shriners Auditorium, those are super important parts of the hobby, and they'll always be, and they'll always have their place, and I'll always be there, right? Because that's really the roots of our industry. But Causeway Show and what we try to do in putting an entertainment wrapper around it and kind of bringing the card industry into the next century, right? That's our goal. That's what we're looking to do, and I think that's a super important part of the future. But I do think it's important to continue to maintain that local, vintage, dusty, and I say dusty in the most endearing way. Like, that's a really important part of what this industry is.
That's the bones of what this industry is.
So what we're doing with the Causeway Show and with the Card Vault and Big Night Breaks and Costa Cards and all of our brands is we're taking things to the next level and making it more of a big business, high-end, elite experience that's accessible to everybody. We're not like trying to be elitists, and we're not just the $100,000 card people. Kids are welcome. Kid-centric products will be in stock. It's just more of a, we want you to feel like you're having a really nice experience engaging in this sports card space that we operate in.
Right. Yeah, it's awesome. And just to see, like, the young kids, because when I worked that show with you, the young kids were talking about the Causeway Card Show. They're like, "Oh, it's coming!" They saw the flyers, they see the hats. So I think what you're building, like, unintentionally, is the younger generation not necessarily wanting to get away from where it started, but they're saying this could be so much better and bigger than it is by following your lead, but also by being a young man or young lady looking for some Pokemon. But you walk into Big Night Live and it's sensory overload. It's not just a bunch of tables,
Well, like in any industry, right? The next generation is what's going to carry on that industry. And I always get frustrated when people look down or brush away kind of this desire to take things to the next step or to the next phase, right? We look at our industry, it's very rooted in the old school and the old school way of doing things. And like I said, it's super important that remains. But the younger generation, they don't respond to that.
Right.
Younger generations are living in a world of sensory overload. They're living in a world of, nice things and nice experiences and digital content and digital media and
instant gratification.
Yeah, and giving that experience, or at least allowing access to that experience, is what's going to get the young kids and the young generation to continue to move this industry forward.
Right.
So I think it's super important that we do that. Do I want to get rid of the local VFW shows? No, I want to keep going to them.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah. I had a blast. I mean,
they're amazing.
They're incredible
because you can wheel and deal, and it's it's a site. It's like going to the Big E, right? Yeah. Like the Big E it's almost like a snapshot in time,
right? Where
it's old school, and the people that you didn't even realize existed anymore are coming out in droves, and there's a snapshot in time that's super important. So yeah, we're not trying to get rid of it. We're just trying to move things along, and we're trying to get things kind of situated for the next generation, because that's the era that we're in, and that's what's going to be the future of this industry. So yeah, I think what we're building, what we've built, and where we're going is totally designed at taking things to the future. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
It's awesome. Yeah. It's been fun to be a part of too.
Yeah, man, you're a big part of it.
It's been wild. I mean, little did I know at the beginning of this year. Yeah. When you pulled me aside and you're just like, "Hey, man, I think you're going to be good. You'll be good at this."
You are, and I was like, you're engaging. You're quick. You're thoughtful. You're able to engage. You're able to show people a fun experience. But you also know your shit, and that's very difficult to do. It's very difficult to do on camera. It's very difficult to do in front of people.
Wild.
It's not a learned skill.
You remember my first pack rip?
Yeah,
I was shaking.
I remember mine. It was in this room.
I was shaking like a leaf.
It is surprising.
I felt like I was going to throw up. Seriously, I've played sports my whole life.
Yeah.
I work with celebrities. I do tons of shit. Yeah. Right? Tons of cool shit that would really drive someone's butterflies. And nowadays, I don't necessarily have those when I work shows. It's really just me going to work and working with somebody that I've worked with before. It's just fun. I love them.
Yeah.
Dude, when you're just like, you're going to open this next pack of cards, I was just like,
What?
Am I going to vomit, shit myself? Like, I don't know what's happened.
I don't even know what,
shake. I was sweating.
It's crazy.
Profusely.
Well, it's like
It was
it's
like,
such a new
oh my
experience,
God.
right? Like doing something in front of a camera on a live stream, on demand, like in real time. That's what part of the excitement of breaking is. And, you know, there's so many different facets of the industry, but breaking has its own place because it's on demand, instantaneous, instant gratification, high speed, high excitement when you want it to be.
Right.
And to be the person driving that ship with the cards in your hand and to be the person providing the experience, the first few times are nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I remember
very
my
much.
first night, big night breaks, right here in the studio, which is when we used to have the big break set up and YouTube and Facebook and everything.
Buddy wearing an afro outfit.
I mean, we tried to make this big production and blow it out. Not that we don't still, but it was, I mean, I just sat there. I was like, all right, here we go. And there's 30 people in the room because everybody's like trying to figure out what the hell we're doing. What were we getting into? We just bought thousands of dollars worth of cards and we're going to open them up for people. What?
Yeah.
And we got CO2 tanks going off in here. We got cameras in different angles. And I'm sitting there,
Yeah, dude.
but it was a blast, and it's fun to look back at some of those earlier videos. But I totally agree. It is surprising how nerve-wracking it is.
It's exhilarating, though.
Big time.
It's so weird because I don't have any personal real connection to those cards, right?
No.
So they're
not
owned by-
yours.
They're owned by someone else.
Yeah.
Right?
But to be the one
to be the
responsible for a
one
big pull,
responsible is nuts. It is nuts. I can't. It's,
What's
it's,
better?
It's a description. It's something I can't really describe.
there are 5 to 10 cards that I've pulled that I'll never forget.
Yeah, I mean, the
huge.
one that I pulled, I'd never forget.
You'll
I
never
jumped
forget.
off
It's
a
like, oh
goddamn
my
bridge
God,
for
it's a
it.
black 101. You know how rare that is, and you're the one pulling it, and it's
Wild.
It's awesome.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Before we wrap this up, though, we got a couple Susan segment questions.
Ooh,
Hurley,
shit.
Hey.
you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here you go. First one, and shout out to Susan.
What's up, Susan?
If you were going to get a pet besides a dog or a cat, what would you get?
That was a great question because I already had a pet that wasn't a dog or cat.
Oh shit.
I had a pet turtle named Stanley.
I thought you were gonna say Sam, and I was gonna be like, Sam, a turtle named Stanley.
Yeah, and he ate Chinese food.
No shit.
Yeah, it was wild.
You used to give
Your
him
turtle specifically only ate Chinese food, or he just did when you gave it to him?
That's what he responded most to.
No
Yeah,
shit.
like General Chicken,
pork.
or
The pork from like pork fried rice. I don't know what that like.
I respond
spare ribs.
really well to that as well.
I actually do as well.
Yeah, I pretty much.
Oh, I actually respond very poorly to that, but but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Is this also a question for me?
Yeah, it's for everyone.
Oh, I have always wanted one of those monkeys like from Ace Ventura.
Oh, the little spider monkeys.
Yeah,
that just
they're
chill
not
on
like
your shoulders.
spiders though. What are the actual names of them?
Capuchin.
Capuchin monkeys.
Yeah, man. I know my shit.
Oh God, I'd kill for a capuchin monkey. I heard they shit a lot though.
They probably just chuck.
They have to wear diapers.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of shit.
Could you handle 2 brand new Frenchies and a capuchin monkey at the same time?
Well, it's funny you say that. I do have 2 brand new Frenchies, and my life has been totally thrown upside down.
They're beautiful dogs. Doug and Mike, I believe.
Doug and Mike. Mike and Doug. 2 beautiful little tan tribe Frenchie puppies. They're just
The cutest thing ever.
fucking insane.
And they just rambunctious. I would have an orca.
A pet orca.
Yeah. I
Well,
would
now,
I would
so
like
you've
buy
opened
the
up a
bay.
whole can of worms.
I would like buy the bay.
Okay.
Like a bay somewhere.
Buy the bay.
If I had like $1 billion, I would
Okay.
just buy like a cove,
Okay.
and I would just fucking drop an orca right in that motherfucker.
You would.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
then
gotta give it enough space.
And then like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't
Like
wanna,
something
like, Shamu anything.
No, something just giant. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
100 fucking acres.
100 acres of just seawater.
Yeah. And like
And
some
just orca.
foliage. And like a gate. You could just
And then,
open if
like,
you wanted
would
to go
you,
out
like-
and maybe hopefully come back. Maybe
What
he
would
doesn't,
you
he doesn't.
Take
get?
it for a
What would you
walk.
buy it for food?
Whatever. Fish.
Seals.
Seals.
Orcas are bad motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, you're gonna be feeding that thing
gonna
great
put-
white sharks, seals.
yeah, fine. Whatever it wants. And I'll just leave the door open, dude. If things want to swim in and get eaten, but by all means.
I think you got to think this one out a little bit more. The orca, there's a lot of logistical issues there.
I think you might be right. But
Hey, I do love an orca.
how sick would it be if you were just
Sick
like, hey, yo, Marckie P, I'm coming over. Hey, man, come hang out with my orca.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, like Mike Tyson tried to flex with the white tiger.
No.
And then, like, some other, you know, rappers have, like, these rare cats or these rare dogs or these rare lizards. No, motherfucker. I have an orca. You ever heard of Free Willy?
You ever?
It's my boy.
Like, hop in. Let's go for a swim.
Wow.
It's my boy. What was the best thing you did all summer?
Oh, shit. You?
Uh,
All summer? It's all, like, blended into one time now. Like, where did the seasons end? Now with the pandemic, it's like, what happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the
I guess opening for Steve Aoki. That was cool.
That's pretty sick.
That was fun.
Ooh, opening a box of cards, a box of UFC cards for Dana White.
Ooh.
Yeah, you did do that.
Yeah.
That is pretty sick.
That was cool. Pulling a Conor McGregor for Dana White was a highlight. That was cool.
Yeah, and you pulled a Diego Sanchez for
Diego Sanchez autograph.
Diego Sanchez
Bizarre.
and Dana White.
Yeah.
Hurley, I don't know if you know this, but they were in quite the feud towards the end of Diego Sanchez's career. And it was like, it was this thing that was so viral every single day in UFC news.
Yeah,
and then
bad.
he pulls the guy's autograph for Dana White.
Jeez.
And then he's just like, Chris goes, oh, we'll just fucking chuck this one. He's like, no. That's the
send
one
me
I
that.
want.
That's the
Send
one
me
I
that
want.
That's the one I want.
Yeah,
It was so
that
good.
was fun. How about you? What'd you do this summer?
I don't remember. Moving.
You moved.
Moving back.
Moving
back.
is never a good thing, even though it's like kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a horrible experience.
It's a horrible experience, but I think it was just the best for me.
Cool.
You know, moving back.
Really, you're in a good spot.
I'm in a good spot, man.
You're in the city. You're able to go out. You're close to work. You're not.
Yeah, man. I can come here and break. I can come here and podcast. I don't have to travel 2.5 hours each way.
2.5 hours.
I mean, dude, sometimes we would come in and be like traffic. I used to every Monday. Tim and I would come in.
That's too much.
It was nuts.
It's too much.
Yeah, 4 or 5 hours just in traffic. Yeah,
Much too much.
Yeah. Moving was probably the best thing I've done all summer. That and hanging out with my little niece.
Nice.
What are you eating at 2 a.m. when the night ends?
I've never really got like drunk hungry before.
What?
Well, maybe like a couple times, but like
You are kidding.
Yeah, you're like the kind of kid, you go right to, you eat dinner and that's it for the night. Like 6 p.m. dinner. I enjoyed my meal.
no, my
Hurley's
family has really late dinners.
and
Actually,
now,
Hurley's
like,
a
that's
middle-aged
it.
father.
I
In bed
ate
by
my meal.
8.
There will be no snacking.
No snacking.
There'll be no late night eating.
He gets 1 scoop of ice cream and then he goes to bed.
My family doesn't eat dinner till about like 8:30, 9 o'clock every night.
Okay.
So then
That's it?
there's not much time.
I'll tell you
afterwards.
what, late night eating has become a problem for me.
Me too. It's always been a problem
It's
for me.
very habitual,
Yeah.
which is a problem.
The issue with me though is I work until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So like
you can't not eat. It's almost like breakfast at
3
that point.
o'clock in the morning for me is fucking dinner.
But like for me, here's the problem, and I'm just being transparent and vulnerable.
You just only like green
Like
juice.
I
and
more
abs.
like look forward to the event than I do like the actual like.
I get
Do you know
it.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all right, get to go home after a long night of break-in, hit the TV, check what's on Netflix, pop open maybe some chips and some hummus,
Oh, big hummus
you know?
guy.
Or maybe, I do have a new hummus flavor that I'm in love with.
Tell me more.
It's balsamic
And glazed onion.
caramelized onion.
Yep, caramelized onion.
Holy Santa Claus shit.
Yeah, nuts. That's up there at my top
Wow.
3, dude. I'm a supreme hummus,
Ooh,
like spicy supreme,
okay.
a pesto, and then that one.
Oh, yeah.
Big pesto guy.
So Joseph's, the hummus brand, you know of it?
Yep.
So a friend of mine, ironically, owns the company. A dear friend of mine. Shout out to the Bogus family. Own Joseph's Bakery.
Feel free to send us some hummus.
Well, I get free. So here's the ironic
he's
thing.
gonna-
Here's the ironic
you-
thing. They sold the hummus line years ago to Cedars.
I was getting ready to say because it's the
Same
same
packaging, same everything. It's the same company now.
I'm a hummus guy, bro.
But Joseph's pita bread and their flax and their lavash breads and their flat breads, that's where it's at.
Slapper.
Yeah, because you toss one of those things in the toaster oven, you make some chips out of it, or you do a roll up, you do a little tuna melt, a little of this, a little of that. Yeah, they're.
Slide a hot dog right in.
I'm telling you.
Hot dog right in.
I'm telling you. But yeah, no, I think late night eating has become a problem.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it.
I am stereotypically a late night Taco Bell or McDonald's guy.
So that's a problem.
That's the issue.
That's the issue. I go home, I'll eat like some trail mix.
Oh, that's
and
good.
like a couple of like rice crackers with hummus.
Yep.
And then like maybe
a little peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter, like the super chunky organic peanut butter, the
Yep.
Teddy super chunky. I'll toss some of that on an apple. But I do all of this in one sitting. This isn't like maybe I'll do this tonight. It's like I'll have the apple with the peanut butter, some rice crackers with some hummus, and some trail mix, and maybe I'll take a couple of handfuls of cereal. And if somebody were to walk out and see me doing this, it's like one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
I mean, those are all very healthy options, though.
That's just in excess.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Now, the Taco Bell and the McDonald's.
Yeah, the Crunch Wrap. The Crunch Wrap and the Chalupa and then the Baja Blast with the Fiesta potatoes really just, really just hit. It just hits different.
Do you feel in the morning like you
Yes.
shouldn't have?
Yes, I feel like I've
It's
got
usually
Montezuma's
like I shouldn't
revenge.
have done that.
Yeah, Montezuma's revenge.
Oh.
Yeah, you ever drank the water in Mexico?
Yeah.
Just like that.
Really?
Right in the morning. Satisfied all night long, wake up in the morning, why did I do that?
Like, I feel like I drank all night long.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those.
Because I don't drink. But if I eat that type of stuff, which is very rare, and that's not me too, I just don't eat a lot of fast food. But when I do, it's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
But the morning after, anytime I eat that stuff, I feel like I drank.
Yeah, your body just rejects everything. You hate yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I do this like it's like 5 nights a week. Don't worry about it.
Hurley, you ever eat any fast food?
Not much. I hit up the occasional Wendy's 4 for $4.
Wow.
That's always a good deal.
Wendy's 4 for $4 is kind of a slapper.
What's the 4 for $4?
It's 4.
You get nuggets, chicken sandwich,
Junior
fries,
bacon.
and a drink for $4.
Nuggets, chicken sandwich, fries, and a drink?
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
We should have done a segment on ranking fast foods.
Well, we still can. One day, episode 3, we'll be ranking fast foods. It's going to be this full table full of fast food, and we are just going to send it.
Oh my god.
Before we do, give us a teaser. What's your absolute favorite number one item on any fast food menu?
Big Mac. Big Mac. It is
So confident.
Big Mac. Big Mac sauce. It's the perfect sandwich.
Yeah.
It's bread. It's lettuce. It's pickles. It's sauce.
Yeah.
Send it. Don't fuck with don't throw a tomato on there. Tomatoes get too soggy and weird unless you're at like a nice burger spot. McDonald's Big Mac is the gold standard.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all there is to it. And the last one on this, you ready? Last but not least, tell me an embarrassing story.
Why
Oh,
wasn't
no.
I given proper prep? I was not given proper
because
prep.
you're gonna you just have to break this one down. Yeah, I can go first while you think. In high school, we were all in gym class and I got pantsed in front of everyone, dick out, cock and balls to the wind. Thank
Double
you.
pantsed.
Boom. And like back then, nobody was wearing long t-shirts. Like I wear long t-shirts.
Yeah.
I have extra length on my t-shirts. Back then, it was like an Aeropostale t-shirt that barely got to your
Right
waist.
above the pubic.
Right above the pubes. Right above the pubescent region.
Pubis.
And
Right above the pubis.
yank. Cock and balls out.
No.
Yep. Yep.
Shit.
Just whew.
Hurley, what do you got?
Oh, this is really on the spot.
Yeah. I mean,
There was one time, so my family had like a zip line in our backyard. Like you'd grab onto the handles and ride down. And for some reason, there was like a rope attached to it, so you could bring it back up to the top. And for some reason, I decided to put the rope, like bite onto the rope. While I was like
no.
doing a trick or something, like hanging by my legs or something.
yeah.
And when I had dismounted from the zip line,
You dismounted.
yes,
Oh, boy.
I didn't open my mouth, so it just ripped like 2 of my front teeth out.
Oh no.
And like I just like felt these like it was up at our playground where we had like all these like pebbles and stuff. So I was like, why are there like 2 pebbles in my mouth?
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden I like
Fell
opened
out.
up and just
Oh, no.
2 of my teeth. My mouth was bleeding like crazy. So that was kind of embarrassing.
Oh, that sucks.
That was the first thing that came to mind. I'm sure there's plenty of other examples I could give you.
He lost teeth. I lost my morals by everybody seeing my cock and balls. What do you got?
Okay, well, I mean, there's a few that come to mind. One that's a legal issue, so we'll leave that one. I was trying to play that one out of my head, but realized that's probably a legal
I
issue.
almost just spit out my polar soda. Seltzer.
This is a fun one. So as kids, we used to race four-wheelers. So we used to all race four-wheelers, quads, ATVs, right? And in the winter, the lake in town would freeze over, and we would stud the tires on our four-wheelers, and we'd race for money on the lake. We'd create a racetrack and race for money. Guys, girls come down. People bring the trucks out. If the ice got thick enough, we'd have bonfires. It was awesome. And I remember one time I'm going around, and I had a really bad crash. I took the turn too hard. Studs caught. Four-wheeler flips. I go shooting off the four-wheeler at about 50 miles an hour, and I'm sliding hundreds of yards, sliding away from all of the people, and I'm covered in blood. And now I have to walk hundreds of yards, like it felt like 3 miles, back to the crowd of people who were laughing in my face, making fun of me. And I get there, sure enough, the reason he brought this story up and I thought of it was I had 2 missing teeth. I didn't know it. And I walked back into the crowd. I had to make the big walk back, almost like the walk of shame. My bike's ruined. I'm covered in blood, and I have 2 missing teeth.
I'm shocked they were all laughing, though.
Oh, yeah. Tears of joy. Yeah.
Never trust anyone.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's good.
That's a fun.
Wow, you guys, look at, you both now have something in common that you never realized you have in common.
Yeah.
Look, imagine.
Dental health.
Dental health, very important.
Yeah. Imagine.
Very important.
Well, that is going to conclude the Marckie P Show. Where can the people find you? Tell them all your stuff. Wow. Go follow this man.
Long list of them. At chris.h.costa on Instagram, or you can go check out Costa Cards. Costa Cards. That's where I do a lot of the buying, selling, and trading. We have Big Night Breaks on Instagram at Big Night Breaks. And soon to come, Card Vault, guys. Keep an eye out for it. It's coming. It's coming hard.
And then
it's coming
catch
fast.
me on Mondays and Wednesdays on the Whatnot app.
You bet your ass.
Let's go, baby. Whatnot. Like, subscribe, do the thing. Show us some love. Peace.
Peace.